Lady J, and we are on the sex and relationship talk. Today, we are still on our four pillars of intimacy, and we will be doing that today. Again, you're on Focus on Liberia. Today is the 12th of March, 2020. My name is Lady J, and today I will be discussing the fourth pillar of intimacy. And I'll also be going into other things as well. You are free to ask any question that you may want to ask. I will be here to answer those questions for you. And I'll be able to, have people call in when the time is right. I do have my coworker with me, Anthony. He's in the back office. He will be doing all the bringing you on the line and sometimes reading your questions for me. Again, you're welcome to the show. Enjoy. So we are on the fourth pillar of intimacy. I just want to go over what we've been doing so far. If this is your first time, you have a little idea. So we started about 3 weeks ago, and we started with pillow number one. Um, where are my pillows? Okay, so we started with pillow number one that talks about 1 minute here. Make sure I'm giving you guys the right thing. Okay, so pillar number one was safety and security. And these shows are either on the Focus on Liberia YouTube or Everything Liberia YouTube. You can go in and pick up these shows that we did. And the second pillar was knowing and being known. That was week 2. Last week we did the affection and likability. And this week we're doing the fourth pillar, which is passion, chemistry, and sex. Passion, chemistry, and sex. So I will be going over all of these pillars with you today. And once I'm done, you're free to call in and ask your questions. Please put in the comments where you're watching from. If you're enjoying this, please put it in the comments. If you have concerns, put it in the comments. Call your friends. And please share the video. You have at least 20 opportunities to share in 20 different groups and tag your friends and loved ones. Again, you're welcome to the show. This is your girl, Lady J. So the fourth pillar, which falls under passion, chemistry, and sex, is the most complex pillar. And there's a reason why it's the most complex pillar. The other pillows here that we have, the other 3 pillars that I just mentioned to you, security, safety, the likability and accountability, and also the one that we did on the second week, which is the knowing and being known. Those other 3 pillars, they are more or less receptive to conscious effort. So when I say something is receptive to conscious effort, that means that this is something that you consciously do. If somebody does this for with a conscious, with an action, you're going to receive it, in a certain way. You have to put effort into that, and you have to. They also say you have to be creative when it comes to the other 3. And if manipulation is there, you'll be able to see if there's any manipulation, or if the person that you're dealing with is truly motivated, that they want to, create these bonds with you when it comes to intimacy. So passion, chemistry, and sex are more difficult to consciously generate. These 3 things, unlike the other 3 for week 1, 2, and 3, the passion, chemistry, and sex, they're more difficult to consciously generate. That means that you can, with these ones, the passion, the chemistry, consciously generate means that you have to actually, you cannot consciously generate passion. You cannot consciously, it's not impossible, but it's hard for you to constantly generate passion, chemistry, or sex. It's really hard for you to do. Those other ones you can, if you are motivated to do so. So many couples who have at least moderate levels of affection may lose connection, and strategies for generating more passion often rest on making sure that the other three pillars are solidly constructed. So what it's trying to say is, when you are looking and putting like levels of relationships on levels and stuff like that, couples who have the least moderate levels of affection, they may not be able to make that connection when it comes to generating more passion. They may not be able to do it. And they may not be able to also create the intimacy if the other three pillars that we mentioned before are not constructed solidly. So if it's not solid, if the safety and the security is not solid, if we have knowing and being known not solid, the likability and affection, they're not solid, you're not going to have like a good level when you come to this one, because then this one is going deeper. This is you kind of like giving like a deeper feeling into the relationship. And so if you don't have those three constructed, you might have a difficult time. Why can't we all just get along? And that's a huge question. Why can't we all just get along? And there are three reasons why intimacy gets complicated. And I'm going to go over those reasons for you. In the story, you tell yourself about why you are struggling with intimacy. That's one. Or why your partner is. That's two. Can make all the difference. Those things can make all the difference. So sometimes we ask ourselves, these are not the reasons. I'm just asking. I'm just saying there are three reasons. I'll go into the reasons. But these are three things that a person might ask themselves before going into those reasons. Why am I struggling with intimacy? Why is my partner struggling with intimacy? And last but not the least, can we make a difference? So, reason number one, why people struggle with intimacy. And reason number one, which I agree, which I think is the biggest reason, is fear. Fear. For 1,000 reasons, we do carry fear when we have to associate with intimacy. And you ask yourself why? Because we feel vulnerable. That's the reason why we carry fear. We feel vulnerable. We are afraid of being hurt most of the time. We are afraid of being rejected. We're afraid of being abandoned. We're afraid of being humiliated or betrayed. I'm going to go over these things because these are very, very, very important things that you should know when you're thinking about, the whole sex thing or the whole intimacy thing. Why don't we just get along? And reason number one is pure fear. We do. You get into a relationship or you start a relationship and the first thing you feel is vulnerability. I don't know if I should tell this person my information, my life. That has to do with timing. I don't know if I should open up to this person. That has to do with your, letting your guards down. We feel vulnerable. We're afraid of being hurt. Is this person going to hurt me if I open up to them? After opening up to them, are they going to reject me? After opening up to this person, are they going to abandon me? Reject. When we say reject, what does it mean? I was talking to a friend of mine, today, and she was telling me certain things. And, we're talking about, my show tonight, and she was saying certain things to me. Afraid of being hurt. Let's go back to that. A lot of times people come from hurt in their previous relationships. And it's like, this is huge. This is huge for a lot of people. They come from the previous relationship already hurt. So when they are advancing or projecting or coming into a new relationship, they're going to feel that fear. Is this person going to hurt me like the way the last person hurt me? Rejection. After giving myself to them, are they going to push me away and say that they don't want me? Abandon. After going out with them for a certain time, are they going to abandon me for another woman, for another man? Humiliation. Are they going to humiliate me? Are they going to betray my trust? Everyone is afraid, but some of us are more afraid than others. We almost always, because of the experiences we have when growing up, that has shaped our conscious and unconscious minds. So I always go back to this because, again, this is exactly what psychology tells me when it says we all have our perception based on the environment that we're born in. We have our experiences from the things that our parents taught us, and some outside forces and everything, the friends that we meet and we encounter. All these things kind of help shape us. So when a man or woman comes into your life, these are some of the things that they are coming with. What do you do to help yourself or to help that man or that woman if that's what you want? Reason number 2, cluelessness. Another reason most often complicates intimacy is the gender-specific intimacy behaviors that backfires. So men in general have not been sufficiently schooled in the art of empathetic communication with women. I want to explain what that means. Sometimes you come from work and you're kind of like frustrated about what happens at work. So you try to explain your day to your better half. Oh, there's this manager I work that is just so not a leader. He just frustrates me. He don't know how to coach. He don't know how to talk to people, blah, blah, blah. Right there, a guy would think that you are telling him these things because you want him to fix it. But he don't work at your job. So definitely, you are not asking him to fix it. You are just telling him just for him to side with you and say, oh, baby, it's okay, this, that. But then some men get into their protective feelings, and they think that we're telling them because we want them to solve the problem. No, we're not asking you to solve the problem. Just be a listening ear and just listen to what we're saying. Pretty much that's all we're looking for you to do. Please continue to share the video and invite your friends. Women often seek verbal intimacy in ways that may alienate the men. So women often seek verbal intimacy in ways that may annihilate men. And again, that is when I say the verbal, that part is what I just explained to you, that verbal intimacy. So when we seek that verbal intimacy, we're not asking you to come and fix a situation for us. We're just asking you to listen. But maybe it might seem that we are asking you to fix it. And that can also bring issues in a relationship. Many men confuse Many men confuse the intensity of sexual intimacy with the big picture of full intimacy and seem mystified when their female partner seems uninterested, turned off, misunderstood, or disrespected. So when we come to the sexual part of the relationship and intimacy, a woman hugs a guy, and right there, he thinks, oh, she wants for us to have sex. No, she's just giving you a hug. Sometimes you and your partner, you're in the bed, and she just probably just want to cuddle or spoon with you. But once you start to cuddle and spoon, the next thing, you start to rise up to the occasion. And before you know, she's like, I just want to be in this position. I didn't want to, like, you know. So that's when the female partner might seem uninterested because that's not what she wants. She might seem turned off. No, I just wanted to cuddle or just, lie by you or put my head on your shoulder or, lie in your laps as we watch TV, misunderstood. But sometimes she feels disrespected, especially when, again, that's not what she's thinking about. She feels disrespected, plain upfront disrespected. And sometimes this cannot only mean when a person is in a relationship. Sometimes dating, people are just dating, and a man wants to he's confusing that intimacy with sexual intimacy. And again, before the relationship goes into full blown, this person can just be like, no, I don't think I want this person. It turns them off. Like, I just hugged this guy. All of a sudden, I'm feeling his heart on against my stomach or against my lower, my lower body. But what does he see me? How does he see me? A lot of times I was telling somebody the other day, but I didn't want to argue with them. Guys use the word, hey, sexy, and people think that it's okay. No, honeys. Ladies, when a guy uses the word sexy, the only thing he's thinking about is to have sex with you. Guys, don't use sexy on women that you respect or any woman at all, because that is not a good thing to call a woman sexy. Oh, you look sexy. I don't think it's a good word to use at all, but it's really up to you if you're. I don't even let people like call me beautiful because I feel my brain is more powerful and attractive than my physical appearance. So when people call me beautiful, I just tell them, please don't call me beautiful. And if I don't know you, I just ask you to please don't call me baby and all those things, because I feel it's a disrespect. It's up to, you to see it whichever way as a woman that you want to see it. But that's how I see it. So I don't be giving people that opportunity to do so. Another thing that women often try to be helpful by offering excessive suggestions or interpretations to their male partner's behavior, who may perceive that behavior as controlling. Sometimes this is the thing. When a woman tells you that, oh, I don't mean for us to do this, I don't mean for us to do that, she's not trying to be disrespectful to you. But I think in a relationship, people should be able to have their say without another person feeling that. But a lot of times when a woman comes up and say, like try to be helpful, like maybe we should take time before we go into this. Maybe we should do this. Sometimes men become a little, they feel bad, or they think that the woman is trying to be controlling. No, I mean, it's her body as well. And if she's not willing to go into a relationship with you at this time sexually, I think you should be able to listen to her and be able to accept what she's saying. I don't understand why sometimes guys become, or even it goes both ways, but mostly men, become like upset. If she's not ready to move to that next level, you should be able to give her that respect and not move to the next level until she's ready. Because a good relationship gives people time. A good relationship does not force, except maybe you just want to use this person and leave them, then yeah, you can, try to do it. And if you're successful, then whatever. But, I don't think when someone tells you that they want to wait to get to know you, give them that opportunity to get to know you. If you're not interested in maybe having a full blown relationship with somebody, then let them know, be able to be honest with them, because a lot of times we make mistakes, and these mistakes are mistakes that that threaten us for a long time in our lives. You don't tell the person what's really up. If you're just looking for a sex buddy, be honest with this woman and tell her, I'm looking for a sex buddy. If that's what your mind thinks, that when you a man or you a woman going into a relationship, you're looking for a sex buddy, maybe this person might just be looking for a sex buddy as well. But if you don't let a person know and you come in with your different intention, they come in with a different intention and stuff like that, you come together, there can be a confusion. Third reason, not caring or burnt out. So if you're in this category, and I want you guys to listen really well to this category because this is a very, very, very important. Hello? Anthony, what's going on in the background? Hello? Anthony, where is my back office controller? Guys, give me a second here. Thank you. All right, sorry about that, guys. Let's move on here. So I was on the last part that says burnt out. And this one is very important. This part of it is very important. Why don't we get along? And some people just don't care or they are already burnt out from other relationships. If you happen to be in that category, don't bother even going further to listen to me. Because this article here, the 4 pillows that I've been going through for the past 3 weeks, today is the 4th week, is not going to help you. If you suffer from a personality disorder, or if you suffer from a personality disorder, or you have a dismissive attachment, you may shut down. Like shut down. It's like you have permanently given up on the possibility of having human intimacy. You may also be missing a chip for normal human interaction. If you are in a relationship with someone like that, my best advice would be to get out. I'm going to go over that. So we are looking at 3 reasons here. The first reason and the question, why can't we all just get along? First reason, pure fear. I went over that. Then I went into cluelessness. Sometimes we don't have any clue of what's going on in the other person's mind when it comes to certain things. And that's what I was trying to talk about. And then last but not the least is not caring or being burnt out. If a person does not care or that person is burnt out and you're with them, that's your own little wahala. You have to decide what you want to do. So that is it. Those are the 3 reasons why we don't get along. And I had put this on here when I read it. Don't settle for less. Do not settle for less. We have a call? Do we have a call? Don't settle for less.
No, we don't have a call.
Okay, thank you. Don't settle for less. Relationships are not meant to be paraded around because your friend is in a relationship or because you see, this other person parading on Facebook with a relationship or anything like that. Relationships are supposed to be taken seriously by 2 parties, not thinking about the outside world. I do counsel sometimes, and I usually give this disclaimer to my clients that I will not put your information out there, but if you gave me the go ahead to talk about it, I will use it as a case study to, talk about it to my audience. And one of my clients did give me the go ahead to go about talking this story. So I'm going to talk the story. I'm going to tell you guys the story, okay? Please continue to share the video. After I think week 1 or 2, a guy called me to consult with me about his relationship. And he said to me, Lady J, I said, yeah. He said, I have this lady that I brought from another state to live with me here in my state. And I made a mistake and she decided to move out. They had a fight and she decided to move out. So she moved out of the relationship. She moved out of the house that they both used to live, and she went to live somewhere else. So they still had their relationship going. She was with, her friend. They still have something going, and she was with her friend. But then he called me. He said, I'm calling you because I don't see any head and any tail in this relationship. And I want to move further into the relationship. I want to move forward because I feel like I'm at a snag, I'm stagnant, blah, blah, blah. So what do I do? So I asked him to give me some, information about this girl. He said, she moved to her friend's place. Whenever both of them feel like having sex, they meet and they have sex. When they go out, sometimes she tell people don't come around my boyfriend. But that's pretty, and when she needs something like money and stuff like that, he gives it to her. But she's living in her friend's apartment, not too far from his. So, Lady J, what should I do? So I listened to him, and the only thing that came to my mind to counsel him on is to, sit down and have a talk with this lady and kind of like find out where they were. I gave him specific words to use, like ask her, we've come to this place where we're living together. We had argument, you left. You have not come back home. We're still on like a relationship because we still are having sex. But I want to know if you are going, when do you think that you're going to come back home for us to, move forward? So he asked this young lady, but before he did this, I think deep down inside, he knew what it was going to be or what, he could expect, but he still wanted to be able to find his closure. So then he had texted me and said, I'm in another state trying to unwind before I go about asking my girlfriend this question. So, I talked to him. I said, this. We used to text most of the time. Then he went back to his place of domicile. And, 1 second, yeah, mama. And Darlene, 1 second. He went back to his place of domicile and he said he asked her. And she said she's not ready to move back yet. And he should wait for her. And when she's ready, she will let him know. So he called me and he told me. So I said, what does that tell you? He said, it tells me that I need to move on. He said, I'm hurt. I feel used because for this time frame, bringing her all the way from her state over to my state, introducing her to my child, and for her to turn around and say X, Y, Z, this. And then he told me that she's a bisexual. That means she goes out with both men and women. So probably the girl that she lives with, they are in a full-blown relationship and she was using him as a cover-up. Yeah. When he told me, I told him, I said, this is the case, If she's bi and, she doesn't have any other person that she goes with and she's living with this girl and she's refusing to move out, that means they have a relationship going. Why am I explaining this story? A lot of times we see these red flags and we ignore them because we think that maybe the person is going to change their mind. Sometimes they don't want to let go. You ask somebody, you don't want this relationship no more, they'll be like, oh, I want a relationship. But their actions speaks louder than their words. If you find yourself in this kind of situation, please don't sit down there, my people. Please pack your bags and leave. It's better for you to not be in a relationship at all and be single and be okay in your mindset than for you to be in a relationship and you feel, manipulated. This man felt manipulated. He felt really bad. And, he just kind of like, he just felt used. But I'm happy, and I'm sure he's happy that he was able to get out of that relationship. And at least he has some enlightening in his mind of moving on, and he has found his closure. So let me go into questions. Agatha says, why are they requesting for money? Agatha, yes, Agatha. Why are they requesting for money first when you're both dating? I always, tell people this, but a lot of girls tell me that, time is money. And they will ask a man for money. That's not something I believe in. Maybe it's because of the way I was brought up. It's also maybe because of my independency and things like that. Don't get me wrong. If a man give me money, I love it. But I don't know how to ask a man for money. I really don't know how to do it. I struggle with something like that because I feel I can take care of myself. So I just don't. If somebody feels that they should ask a man for money because that's their time, it's up to them. Another question here from Darlene. What do you do if you have a boyfriend who is busy working than having time for the family? Darlene, if you have a boyfriend who is busy working than having time for the family, you want to sit him down and talk to him about how you feel. All these things has to do with conversations. A lot of times in our African Liberian setting, when there is an issue, we don't do the sit down and talk about it. Something happens, then we bring all the different things that we have in our hearts. Oh, you did this, and no. My people, talk to the person when there is no issue. Sit them down, fix a good meal, sit on the table and say, you know what, darling? I don't see you spending a lot of time with us and it's not helping our relationship. What can we do? Can I work more? Can you work less? Can we maybe get part-time jobs? Can we take a time off in a weekend or a date night that we can be able to find time to be together? Can we find time to spend with the family? You have to, talk about it when you are not upset. And I'm sure you guys will be able to, if this person truly loves you and there is nothing going on, you guys should be able to find some little wiggle place to be able to find more time for the relationship. Question, shouldn't people understand each other to some degree and try to see if they even get along before getting into the intimacy level? Yes, Sis Musu. But most of the time, that is not the case. Most of the time, we put the cart before the horse. I remember when I used to have some, these relationship talks on my platform. One of the things that I said is a 90 days period, which is the probational period that a job gives a person when they start working there. And that probational period is to check and see if the person have good work ethics, if they are punctual, and if they are able to fit in the culture of the workplace that they are in. If you take all of these that I said to you and put it into a relationship concept, it's the same thing. If you can give yourself time to know this person, not rushing and stuff like that, it's okay. But if you're not giving yourself time, and I mean, you really want the person, you just want to eat the person. This is both for men and women. Some people that just want to eat that person. They just want to eat They just want to do that getting dog and move for and stuff like that. And so, you know, I'm talking about people that really want to be in a relationship. If you want to be in a relationship, you can get to know that person better before moving to the next level. It doesn't necessarily have to be 3 months, but at least get to know the person. Don't talk to the person today. I mean, I don't do it before, so I'm a culprit. I don't read the comments on the bottom yet because I'm still at the top. But I'm a culprit. I've done it before. I mean, it's not something that I'm proud of, but you know, we have to like, we have to, I mean, except you don't want to go, you know, have a serious relationship with this person, you can do it to what you got to do. But if you really want to have a serious relationship with this person, you shouldn't do that though. Okay.
Elijah,
Yes.
we have a question from the back room.
All right. What a question from the back room.
So, had there been a time an unintended action can lead to something of like a commitment? For example, some guys will say, "Oh, I just want to eat something."
Okay.
And then they succeeded in eating that something. But it turns out that that which they got registered to them to be the best.
Okay.
So what would be some of the things that will strike them? You say, "Oh, I mean, I was just trying to eat something, but it's like that. This is the real deal."
Okay.
So what will a female in this case will have to do, you know, to pull that victory?
You see, I think that's a really great question. When it comes to relationship, it's not about how beautiful you are, the kind of size of your, you know, your shape, or you know, how good you are in bed, or how even good you've taken care of yourself. You can have all these good qualities in you. If you don't bring this person that you're with any kind of calm, where they don't have to feel threatened, and that falls under the intimacy, safety, and security. If you don't bring them anything that has to do with wahala in a relationship, and you know, you went into for sex, but then it turned out to be something else, they definitely will be able to gravitate towards you. So it's not because of the sex that makes the person want to stay. It can be a contributing factor, but not the real factor. If you understand what I'm saying, Anthony, because sometimes it's not just the sex part. It can never be just the sex part. It has to do with the way you make that person feel. I call it burn my fire. If this person can burn my fire. And when I say burn my fire, I mean keep my fire going. And when I say keep my fire going, I mean I call you, no wahala on the phone. We go out. It's a pleasant time. You don't disrespect me out there. I don't disrespect you. You pick up your phone calls. When I text you, you return your text in a, you know, a good timing, and things like that. There's no disrespect. There's no reason for me to feel that there might be somebody else or something going on. If I just went in there for, let's say, you know, killing dog, and this person exhibit these behaviors to me, I definitely will change my mind.
All right. There are times I hear people say, "Those two person, they don't match." You know, that guy does not look good for her, or that girl does not look good for him. I don't even know why he's doing that or she's doing that, you know, with all the treatment. And yet she's still there. In a case like that, what might be some of the things that may be keeping that person in that relationship?
What I just explained to you, Anthony, is what some of the things that might be keeping such a person in a relationship. And it's just that peace of mind. You just don't want to go into something where whole day is wahala, especially when you get older and you know yourself and you know what you want. Because in relationship, the person that you are with can make or break you in your life. They can depress the hell out of you, or they can make you feel like a king or a queen. It's that person that you are with, that person that you are sleeping with, that person that you are intimate with. They can make or break you in life. So if sometimes it's oh, what they fine man doing, what they okay woman, what they okay woman doing, what they fine and lady, that's it right there. It's because those people on a chemical level, the chemistry is so huge. They have a good chemistry going. And once that chemistry is going, definitely that man don't want to leave that woman. So he might leave a very, very beautiful lady for somebody who is not so beautiful because of the ways that not so beautiful lady has in her. If that answers your question.
It surely does, and thank you. And my other question is, why most guys, I think my question is the way guys talk about it more, is that how you ladies talk about it more? I'm talking about killing dog.
Oh yeah. We talk about it. We definitely talk about it. I mean, maybe we might not go. I mean, sometimes, we might not want to go into details. For me, I'm a blunt person. So sometimes my friends be like, hey, Jessica, it's left with the personality though. But yeah, we talk about it. We talk about it. We talk about size. We talk about performance. We talk about endurance. We talk about all of that.
Now you got yourself in trouble. You're talking about size and their endurance. So which matter most to most women? I know it might be relative from person to person, size, performance. I don't know which one.
Well, everybody, again, because of the different experiences that we have gone through in our life, I can't say this is for every woman, because then if I did this, I'll be generalizing stuff or stereotyping, and I don't want to do that. So again, it has to do with the person. For me, it's not about size. For me, it's about, for me, to be honest with you, it's not even about sex for me. Sex is not my number one in my relationship level. When I have a relationship with a person, the first thing on the top of the list that I'm looking for is actually a respect. For me, respect is big for me. And the next thing I'm looking for is understanding. That's number 2. And then number 3 will be sex. So if you are giving me respect and you're understanding me, my personality, being an alpha female, me coming with the different things that I come with, and you can understand me, and you're not yelling when I'm yelling, you're, very cool, collected guy, just, you're calm and talking and stuff like that, you would get me in a second, because then I know that my personality can match with yours. So that's kind of where what it is. When it comes to performance level, yeah, definitely you got to be good in your performance. Size doesn't matter. I can let that one go. But when it comes to performance, you got to be good. I can teach you. And if I teach you, you have to be able to be a learner, or a quick learner, quick student. You have to be able to learn. If I teach you and you're still doing the same old things and stuff like that, I might get bored. And this is for different people. This is what everybody has their own different, for me, that's how I will go about it. So.
We still don't have a color here. It seems to be the 80+ person that's watching us don't want to say anything. They don't want to participate. So let's talk about participation. What are the laws in one person not participating when it is time, for killing dog? What's the low in it? What's the disadvantage in it?
I mean, this should not be, it should be consensual. That's the first thing.
Right.
It should be consensual. I should want this person and this person should want me for us to be able to go into having sex. If at the get-go, the person is not looking to do it or I'm not looking to do it, that means it's not consensual. We shouldn't even go to the next level. We should just leave it alone. One person should be smart enough to say, oh, you know what, this is this and stuff like that. So that's just what it is. But this is the thing though. When it comes to sex, don't settle for uncompromising positions. And it can be to the guy or to the girl. A lot of times, some men and they won't lift your foot up to the different places. They won't put your body on the side and stuff like that. No, please don't do that. Do not. If this person is not comfortable with a sex position, just let them be with the position that they are comfortable with. A lot of guys, or mostly guys, they like to force women to do certain things. Sometimes women are not comfortable with having anal sex. And if this woman don't want to have anal sex with you, please do not force her. Look for the people that's why it's good to have that time frame to sit down and talk about your situation. Everything that you do in life, including having sex, needs to be sat down and talked about. That's why I like sometimes long-distance relationship, if the person is willing to be communicative, because a long-distance relationship will give you the option to, one, talk, and talk. It will give you that option to talk a lot for you guys to have a better understanding. What you like, which style you like, why you like to do this and stuff like that. This and stuff like that. When people are long distance, that's what they do. They talk. But when you are just right here, instead of us focusing on having that conversation, they don't want to. I've seen relationship where I've gone to and the person don't want to have the relationship. They don't want to have the relationship talk. Come to find out, that person not even correct. It probably in serious relationship and never let me know about it. And once I get to know, I'm like, peace out, deuces, I'm out, because I don't want to be in such a predicament. So you have to be able to have that sit down and talk. What are some of the things that you like? What are some of the things that you don't like? What are some of the, like relationship positions? If we do get into sex, how long should we take? Oh, let's do it this way. You guys sit down and make your relationship goals and talk about it. That way the person know you. Are you a jealous person? And when I ask you, don't lie. Are you jealous? Say, yeah, I'm jealous. So I to see nobody talking to my man when we all there and stuff like that. If you're not jealous, say I'm not jealous. Be truthful. But don't say I'm jealous. Then the next minute you go on now, somebody come and go talk to your man. You holding a man like they in the club, or you holding him like they in public. No, you don't do that. If you are jealous, tell the person. Tell people your bad ways. Let them decide if they want to be with you or not with your bad ways, your medical records and things like that. Don't make decisions for people. There are people who have gone into relationship that have these different detrimental sicknesses connected to sex, and they refuse to tell their partner about it. And they go to get married and stuff like that. They made a partner seem like if to say the partner is so much into to whatever, come to find out that you did not let me give you an example. People get married and they be like, all right, let's get married. They don't sit down and talk about the inadequacies. Let's say a man has erectile dysfunction. Never told the person that he was getting married to. And maybe they're a Christian couple. They didn't want to like have sex before the marriage. They go into the marriage, everything. The man can't function well. When the woman asking, he say, I tire, I this, I da. Yes, into relationship before he say, oh, I have erectile dysfunction. Like, don't you think it was okay for you to tell that person from the day you met before you went and put I do on that person's finger so that they can be able to decide if they want to be in a relationship with you versus you holding on to that important information and then in years to come, you think that things are going to change. You have a condition, it's not going to change. But let the person say, I love you enough to be in that position with you. And then, because erectile dysfunction, the way it works, it's not that the man does not something, he doesn't have the normal arousal feeling like how most men would. You can go lay down near him, if he's not ready to stand up, he will not stand up. And when he does do it, sometimes it's not for long, and he cannot have more than one round with you. So if you are in such a relationship with somebody, or if you have that problem, which you know you have to be able to express that to the person that you're with so they can make an informed decision if they want to be with you or not. That is the reason why people need to sit down and talk. So let me see. I think I have some questions here. I see Philip and thinking on it, but let me appreciate my viewers. I'm appreciating Sis Musu Stewart. Thank you so much, Sis Musu, for being on. I appreciate your support and your love. I can feel it. I can feel it every time you come on the show. Thank you. Agatha S., thank you for being on the show. Weddy Bryant, thank you, Lord, for being on the show. Irina Barbell, thank you for being on the show. Mr. Moses Q, thank you for being on the show. Jacob Jr., thank you for being on the show. Mr. Isaac Brown, thank you so much for being on the show. Corva Colley, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate you. Shout out to Linda Dukley, thank you for being on the show. Randall Gay, thank you for being on the show. Dede Chicks, my friend from Ghana. Thanks, Dede, for being on the show. Jojo Bright, thank you, Jojo, for being on the show. Darlene L, thank you for being on the show, my love. Who else? Nakita, thank you so much for being on the show, dear. And yes, so I have some questions here that I would like to address. Please continue to share the video. If you're just joining, this is your girl, Lady J, and I'm on the Focus on Liberia platform. We're having a sex and relationship topic today that falls under the 4 pillars of intimacy. And for our pillar of intimacy today, we are talking about the last pillar, which includes passion, chemistry, and sex. Okay. All right. Let me see. Question from Sis Musu. She says, is it wrong or out of place to obey the chemistry before getting to understand each other? It's not wrong or out of place, but I think sometimes people misconstrue that. So like, for example, you go ahead and obey the chemistry and have sex with the person and things like that. And then you don't know this person other than being intimately sexual with them. Now you guys have to build a relationship. Is the person ready to go to the next move? Is there any motivation in it now that they got the cookies and you got their cookies or whatever it is and stuff like that? Sometimes it doesn't work. So you really have to be, if you really like this person, you have to treat them valuable and you have to treat yourself valuable and you have to have some self-control. Because once that sexual part has been released, it's hard to turn back. And yes.
Is chemistry always automatic or sometimes it's gradual?
Chemistry can be attraction is it's automatic. Chemistry, it's like, you guys got that thing going where so chemistry sometimes can be automatic and sometimes it can be gradual based on the levels of these two people. So it's not like just automatic. Sometimes it has to build up. The chemistry has to build up. And let's see if there's another question. It depends though. Let's see. I'm enjoying your comments. So no, don't sleep. Let's see who else. But all your body belongs to men. I don't understand that question. I mean, your body doesn't belong to a man, Randall. People's body belong to them. When it comes to your body belonging to your man, no. The body belongs to you. And that's why we should try to make sure that we are not putting ourselves into painful sexual positions. If a person feels that this is painful, they should not really go into it.
Yeah, and Musu said performance is key when it comes to intimacy. So she a girl, who goes with performance.
Yes, performance is key when it comes to intimacy. I mean, it's like you're planning to do something and then you go try to do the thing and then the thing ain't work. It can't stand up. And the reason why I say that's the reason why, but I'm just gonna keep this to myself. But yeah, I feel really like disappointed if me and somebody meet and we're trying to get things on and then the person can't rise to the occasion and stuff like that. I'm not going to go back there. I'm just not going to go back there. I'm just not going to do that because, and a lot of times they got some men that have gotten to that place where they've used themselves so much and they are not old, but they just have used themselves to the extent where sometimes they just can't get up. It's not that the person they're not attracted to the person, they don't want to do it, but they don't have the stamina to get up sometimes, or they don't have it. And that's part of performance. If you can make it yourself stand up for somebody and stuff like that for your woman, or for me, I'm sorry, we're not going there. We're not even going to stage number 2. We're just staying right on our level. Goodbye.
Okay.
Darlene says, but most of us Liberians are very judgmental because of that. Liberian women are afraid. Example, Liberian music, they always have this negative thing to say about the women. It's true. A lot of times that's true. But and darling, we have responsible men in our community as well that do not go by that. And by right, if you feel that you are an open Liberian girl and you don't want to go with, a Liberian man that might be close, or maybe a lot of the people that you interact with being close, then you can also go out with another nationality. It's not forced for you to date a Liberian man. You can also look outside of your race and things like that. A lot of times, some people do it too. They don't want to go out with Liberian men because they feel that maybe some Liberian men, not all, but some, and the ones that I would just say the ones that they have come across, have not been able to have an open mind about certain things. So to be like, you know what? I'm going next door. I'm going to Ghana. I'm going to Nigeria. I'm going to Jamaica. I'm even going white. I'm going Caucasian, y'all. So sometimes that's the case. Yep. How do we tell them everything about us? That comes under vulnerability, and Darlene. And again, the way I put this thing is simple. You have to get to know a person a little bit where they open up to you and you open up to them. I said, take it to be like a banana. You got the banana, you put it one aside, you put it one aside. So they talk about certain things, you talk about certain things, they talk about certain things, you talk about certain things. But in that, you have to also know, how this person is like. Like I used to go out with this guy and he told me that he was an open person, but he lied. He wasn't no open because, like his friends kind of like some of his friends knew were seeing each other, and then they'll try to come to talk to me. And when I told him about it, I thought he was going to be open with it for us to just laugh. Oh, your friend approached me to deal and stuff like that. And he got fast and when I asked the person, like, how childish can you be? I was just talking to you, trusting you that you will be able to take this information. And then one day we're having a car and he's like, oh, my friend didn't want you and stuff like that. And this. If I hadn't told him that information, he wouldn't have known. So, Darlene, you have to know the level of maturity of the person that you are dealing with and how you are giving the information. They should go to jail for not telling a partner, especially if it's about disease. Yeah, some people have HIV. They don't tell the partner about it. They should definitely go to jail because if they're not using the right, preventive measures, and then you pass that horrible disease to the person you're with, definitely you should go to jail. Jay, some of the things you're talking about is only for America because the way we think Liberia is affecting us as a people. You're right, darling, but it's not only for America. This article that I'm going over is a universal article that that everybody can take something away from But we have different, we have different way of thinking, and that's the reason why I think one of the reasons why I think Focus on Liberia wanted me to come on a platform and discuss this, because I think as a people we need to have a better understanding about relationships, sex, and all these things. This is like a taboo. We don't talk about it at all. Everything is secret, but we keep making the same mistakes, having the same, divorce rates in our community because these things are not being addressed. So I'm just here to make sure that some of these things are addressed. I hope I'm doing a good job. Still love you. You don't even call. Yeah, man, Dada, don't say that, honey. You know I love you. We need a fun time with you, Minnesota. Here, we need a fun time. Um, you trust them, and that's what really matters. So people need to be real and truthful about everything. Yes, Dada, people need to be real and truthful. A lot of times, people are not real and truthful. That's why I said from the beginning of when I was talking. Um, they got a thing they call sex buddy. Sex buddy. It's not something I'm coining. It's something that has been there. So if you feel you are not ready to go into a relationship with a person, please be honest with them, especially the guys. You're being honest with the ladies then. You don't have to use the word love, because sometimes you have to give people the opportunity to choose where they want to go in a relationship. There are some open eye getting at me that might be okay with having a sex buddy. That is, if I don't want to have the rigmarole of calling, answering you, checking on you every day, this, blah, 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 blah. We just meet, we do our thing, we go. No questions asked, nothing, no plenty talking, yada, yada, yada. Some women do not like that. Some women, if they meet you, they want for you to be serious with them. If you cannot be serious with them because you are not in that place emotionally, nobody say it wrong. Emotionally, you are not able to be serious. Please do not open your mouth and tell somebody that you love them. It's wrong. It's very, 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 very wrong. You most of the time people want to be manipulative in relationship, and that's how people get hurt. They get betrayed. They get so many things happen to them. Rejected, abounded, and then you say about, and then they'll be like, oh, I never meant it that way and stuff like that. But when you tell somebody you love them, that's deep. That is deep. It puts all the guards down. So if you don't mean it, don't say it. Don't say it. Do it happen to you before? What happened to me, Nigerian? Ask your question again, Jerome, because I don't know which one. Your questions, I'm reading it. All right. Osirius Gao has a question. Is it possible for an individual to fall in love with someone in a long distance when they both haven't met before? Yeah, it's possible. And I say this because, and most of those times, those long distance relationship, if it's really genuine, those are the best relationship. You know why? Because sexually, you guys have not even met and you connect on an emotional level, long distance. You're talking emotionally on an emotional level. Everything, oh, I'm going to work, this. Person got to leave the day party, come home, it's the time difference, this, and so you're built. If it's a genuine relationship that you're building, you can fall in love with that person before you meet them. So yes, but serious, Gal, that's a great question. Thank you. Randall, why more girls/women or men like big banana? uh, oh, Randall, I've been telling you, I call you 3 times. Well, I mean, I can't answer for them because, I like medium, so I can't answer for those women. But all I can say is it's the level of pleasure that they get from it, okay? People get a level of pleasure from big bananas, and so they like the big bananas, yeah? All right. It has to do with, what you're carrying. And Osiris say, yes, is it possible for you to fall in
Yeah.
love with someone? Yes?
All right. Another question here quickly.
Okay.
And how about the woman especially holding back because they think if they give in to sex quickly,
Mhm.
the man will take them for granted.
Okay.
But based on where the man is at that point,
Mhm.
he may need sex right away. There is no magic bullet as to what will turn out to be the best relationship. So why would a woman be holding back?
Why that is true, it's better for you to hold back and get to know the person you're dealing with than for you to do it. But it's not mandated that you do that. It has to do with your comfortability. I've seen some people meet one night, they eat a thing the same night, and they get married and they stay together. So again, it has to do with the situations, the personalities, and the timing. So the situation, the personalities, and the timing, all those things come together to make people stay together after maybe having sex on the first thing day, or if a man wants a woman right away, or whatever it is. It doesn't have anything to do with, oh, if that person don't want you, you can avoid having sex for 3 months. They'll have sex with you, they will eat you, they'll walk away. If they want you, they will stay. But it's just good to get to know who you're dealing with, because that period, you will be able to see some things. Like if you call, they reject your call. If you ask them where they been, oh, this. Did you sleep home last night? No one sleep home last night. Where you were at? Oh, I went to John house. Eh? You a man, you going to sleep to your friend man house? All those things and stuff like that, you will start to see the red flags for you to know, should I give myself to this person or not? Am I looking? If the woman really like the person and she wants to have a relationship with that person, she has to find out if it's worth the while. If it's not worth the while. So sometimes I say to women or to men, know what you are fighting for. Is it worth it to fight for it? If it's worth it, fight for it. If it's not worth it, don't waste your time.
All right, another one. I have heard guys saying, "Oh, I just want to kill a dog." Uh, have you heard any ladies saying something similar? Oh, I just want to kill a dog, and you know.
So yes, and I'm gonna go into this lady's question because that's tied to what you're saying. Caroline Doyen says that it's very important to ask a guy what he wants. If you're meet for the first time, Caroline, my darling, and Anthony, let me tell you this thing here. I, Jessica, met a guy and I asked him, I gave him the options, two options. Are you looking to be in a relationship or you just want to try things out, see how it's going to be? To be honest with you, Caroline, my darling, sometimes they don't even know what they want. They don't know. They do not know what they want. Don't ask them. If you can get that information, you can ask them, and they will give you an answer. But don't like stick on that answer. When I say don't stick on that answer, don't take it and run with it. Also do your own investigation to know, because they might not be honest with you. He wasn't honest. He didn't know what he wanted. He really did not know what he wanted in his whole life, because he could have just been simple and tell me, say, I just want to do the bulletin here. We're just going to be tapping the pam, 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 and be going our way. Now, for you to tell me you want to be in a relationship, because once you tell me you want to be in a relationship, it changes my mind track about the whole thing. If you tell me this is what I ask, so you can ask, my dear Caroline, and they can tell you. But when they tell you, make sure too what they're telling you is true, because sometimes they don't be honest. Sometimes they don't even know what they want. And I'm talking about grown men. And that little boy say I'm talking about. Let me see another question. Did it happen to you before to meet a man and the thing don't stand? That's what I was asking you about. Yeah, Jerome, it happened to me before. Oh, you guys are funny. Yes, Jerome. Yes, it happened to me before. I was very, very disappointed. I was
Let,
like, oh my
little,
God.
little J,
Yes, absolutely.
we see young guys aiming so high,
Mhm,
some are 10 years above.
mhm,
and we see some ladies aiming so low,
Okay.
sometimes 10 years below.
Okay.
What's going on there in their mind?
Well,
What they're looking for?
what do you mean what they're looking for? What do you mean what they're looking for? That's the person, that's the person's that's what they choose to
You
be.
think it's because of preference, or is are they looking for something else?
No. Usually sometimes, the sugar mommy, sugar daddy relationship can be because this person maybe want to get money from another person that's older and stuff like that. But most of the time, you see a younger man coming for an older girl is because they feel that the younger girls are not mature, and they want a more mature person to be with, more stable and things like that, and more like that know things, that can be loyal to them and things like that. Because sometimes girls, their age group, not ready and they're ready. So sometimes they go for an older woman. Older woman too. Sometimes the men are up there cannot get this thing up. And if they cannot get it up, they be like, you know what, why waste my time, my age group? If a younger boy wants me and stuff like that, and I feel that our relationship can go, I'm gonna go with it. So that's just how it is. It's not, it's a preference. So, Caroline asked another question. So what if a guy can call you, he's always busy? Can you go on or quit? Are they saying the truth? I always say this, Caroline, even with friendship, and that's a great question. Even with friendships, when it comes to a relationship, you make time for people you care about. You make time for people you care about. Friendship, man, woman, business, anything, you make time. If you can't make time for the people that you care about, or that you claim you care about, then you don't really care about them. Because if you cannot find time to be with that person, that means you're with somebody else. And that's just how I see it. So that's it. And if that's a situation, you have to have a sit down with that person and find out from them, what's going on here. And I see that you're not making time for the relationship. Are you seeing somebody else? Is there something that you want? If they're not answering truthfully, you have to make up your mind. Some of these people, they want to have that 3 to 4 girlfriend, and they want to have that powerful woman that they can tell them that my woman order, but they're not doing what needs to be done that is required in a relationship. Sometimes they will not even tell you, say they want you and stuff like that. You have to make up your mind what you want to do, because when you call that person, they tell you they're busy. You call the person, they're cutting or call on you. You doing that one, they're doing that one and stuff like that. You look at it for long, you be like, what going on here? And every time they behave a certain kind of way to you that is not loving, you be feeling bad within yourself, like there is something wrong with me. Even the woman that has the best confidence level, that thing can work on her. Now you want to have your closure, like, oh, the person said they really wanted to be with me and stuff like that. What going on? Sometimes you're not going to get closure from that person because they're not going to come out and tell you. They already shame. They can't live up to the expectation. They don't have the ability to live up to the expectation. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, it's time for me to walk away. Because sometimes they will not tell you. They will just be acting the fool. So you have to release yourself. Lady J, you are funny. You make my day. Not only me, only me then. Okay, well, that's good, Jerome. I'm happy to hear that. So what if a guy only calls you once, and why because he's busy with schoolwork? Is he playing? I mean, again, Caroline, to be honest, then you have a sit down with this guy and find out from him, because what people care about or love, they find time for it. Even sometimes I have schoolwork to do, but if I'm, seeing my man and stuff like that, I take my schoolwork with me, my laptop with me, and I go and be doing my work there with him and things like that. So it's not an excuse. Work and school is not an excuse for somebody to not see you. So if somebody not seeing you, they're not coming around, they always claiming they're busy. Man, look on that fire, go something there. Then all right. Social psychologist, research author Aaron of the Interpersonal Relationship Lab at Stony Brook University in New York said there is such thing there's no such thing as rapid intimacy. Is it true? There is no such thing as rapid intimacy. I will believe that because intimacy is not sex. So yes, it's true. There's no such thing as rapid intimacy. He is so right on all levels. Intimacy builds because from the get-go, I went over the 3 pillows before this night, which is the 4th pillow. And these things don't come just like that. You don't feel safe and secure with somebody right away. You don't create, you don't be known, and you don't know and be known right away. That's something that you have to go through. You don't have affection and likability for a person right away. You can be attracted to them, but that affection and likability, it doesn't come right away. And this last one, that's why they differentiated the 3 pillars of intimacy to this last one, because those ones you have to make a conscious effort. With this 4th pillar, you don't make a conscious effort. Passion, chemistry, and sex, these are things that come unknowingly to you. They can come unknowingly to you. You're not conscious about it. It just happens, boom. That is where you have to look into the control factor. So if you don't feel any of those first 3, are you going to want to jump into this last one? That's what makes me think about this song, The Heart Is Not So Smart. This guy, you not know that song from Liberia. If you're in your 40s, you will know The Heart Is Not So Smart. And the guy, he goes in and he breaks it down because the heart is really not so smart. It doesn't make the right decisions. Emotions don't make right decisions. Emotions are not logical. So yeah, this guy is really true that intimacy has to be built on different levels. It cannot be rapid. That's a really, really great point there. Thank you so much, Mr. Isaac Brown, for saying that. Have you sucked banana before? Oh, wow. I mean, of course. I mean, that's not anything. It's not, yeah, you can, I have. I mean, always. That's something that's definitely, yeah, I do. So I hope I was able to answer your question, Jenya.
And
And
Lady J,
yes, sir.
one thing is about the two person experiencing explosion
Mm-hmm.
at the same time.
Okay.
And I come to realize that it's something that the 2 players always want,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't always get at the same time. They
Right.
want it at the same time, they don't get it at the same time. How can they do it to get it at the same time so that everybody can live with that maximum satisfaction?
Well, sometimes it's not going to happen. Me, for example, I don't get my explosion when my partner is getting his explosion. I get my explosion before. I don't get my explosion through even penetration. There's a way that I was able to build into my mind and think about a way to be able to get my explosion. So I, being a selfish lover, I want to make sure that I get what I want before you come, because most of the time the man will come anyways. The man has to come most of the time. It's the women that have the problem. So I was able to figure out a way to not manipulate, but to make myself me and my man together. He will make me come before he go inside there. So it's not the same way for everybody. So everybody not going to have that explosion together. Sometimes it can happen, but not always. Again, I have been able to form my own way to come. So I make sure that energy is released into the atmosphere before the man even penetrates. So that's
All,
for me.
all right, all right. I know this is the 4th pillow,
Mm-hmm.
and then we are to the closing part. So I have this for you, 2 questions.
What?
Why are these 4 things we have been discussing
Mm-hmm.
called pillows?
Mm-hmm.
2, passion, chemistry, and sex as the 4th pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Can we rank those 3 into priorities or importance?
The way they did it, I like the way they did it because those three, the safety and security, known and being known, and also the last one, affection and likability, those comes in a systematic order, a chronologic order. And the reason why I say it comes in a chronologic order is because you have to feel safe and have some sort of security to want to know someone and let the person know you. That's the first two steps. And once you get to that place where you know the person gets to know you, then the next step is that affection. That is the real affection and the likability that comes out. So they go in their levels. The author made sure that he plays it in these levels because that is how it proceeds. You cannot have sex, passion, and chemistry before safety and security. If you do that, you on your own. It has nothing to do with with intimacy. So I hope I was able to answer that question for you. With the pillows, when I look into my imaginary mind about the pillows, I see I see 4 pillows and there is something on the top of those 4 pillows. And that's the relationship that the 4 pillows are holding. And those 4 pillows hold that relationship where you can tell yourself, I feel comfortable, I feel safe, I know my partner, I feel affection towards my partner, and now we can move into the sexual part of it. So that's how the 4 pillows are. When you see it, it's holding up the relationship. And if you don't have a good foundation, those pillows won't stand. And that's what it says from the beginning of it.
And also I like what I see. I like what I'm getting. And so I'm going to stay. And then the chemistry and the passion and everything start to flow.
Mhm.
Okay. So that talking about passion, chemistry, and sex.
Mhm.
Are they intertwined in the process of, having an experience? Can
That
one come before the other?
they are intertwined.
Okay.
They are side by side.
Okay.
And that's why the writer said that the other 3 pillars are more or less receptive to conscious. And this one is unconscious. Because sometimes before you know, you now have sex with the person and be like, oh, I already did this. Yeah, you're finna getting dog.
And it is the passion that gets you unconscious, or is that the chemistry?
Chemistry is unconscious. You just feel somebody and for some reason you like that person. You don't know why you like that person. And you be like, you know how sometimes you see a woman, your heart just caught, bloop. You're not married, you're single, you see a woman, your heart caught, bloop. And you be like, I'm a heart caught, and stuff like that. Let me get to know her. That's the chemistry right there. You're connected. You're connected on some kind of level. You connected to her. And if she reciprocates that connection, if she reciprocates your attraction, that's the chemistry we're talking about right there.
All right. So let's talk about the look, the physical characteristics of the individual.
Mhm.
These are things that send communication to either the man or the woman. So like some guys, they want to see somebody with the Coca-Cola shape.
Mhm.
Some guys, like somebody who is lean or slain. And interestingly so, some guy like BBWs.
Mhm.
Is that the same with females too? They go for certain guys as their preference.
Yeah, the guys and ladies that like tall guys, they like this. But usually these low, I call it I don't call it I don't see these things as serious when people say I'm looking for a tall man, I'm looking for a man that has, a big this or that or whatever it is and things like that. I don't I don't take it serious because you are not looking at the inside of the person. You're looking at the outer appearance. Suppose that tall look is taken from that man. Suppose his big dick is taken away. Would you still like him? So those are not like attraction or chemistry. It's just lust.
So
It's
those are just preliminary things that women look at. Because
some women dwell on those things.
right.
But it's for a younger generation. If an older woman in her 40s is telling you that she's looking for a man that got big dick and she's looking for a man that is tall and stuff like that, and she don't know what she's doing. Because nobody in their 40s should be saying that. A woman in her 40s knows what she wants. So it's the little girls that in their 20s and in their 30s that don't really, not all of them, but some of them don't know what they want. And that's why you see preference changes as you age. Now that I've aged to this place that I'm at, definitely I know what I want in a man. And am I going to stay longer in a relationship if I can't find what I'm looking for? No. As soon as I can't find what I'm looking for, I'm going to give it a time frame. But if I can't find what I'm looking for, my mind and my body will shut down to that person because they're not giving me what I want. So the sex can be good, but if there is no respect, there's no communication, the things that I prefer, there is no understanding, I'm definitely not going to be there. So again, it has to do with an age group and a sort of maturity.
Thank you. That's all we got from the back room.
Okay, I got some questions here before we go into. So I got some questions and great questions, Anthony. Thank you so much from the back room for those questions. Strong survivor say, if you don't believe in marriage or relationship, doesn't mean that you cannot have a girlfriend. No, strong survivor, if you don't believe in marriage, doesn't mean you can't have a girlfriend. You can have a girlfriend. Sometimes that belief comes up from an experience that you have endured. And sometimes having someone that maybe you might be able to trust and become intimate and love again will bring you to that place. Sometimes too, when you're just divorced or newly divorced, you really don't want to step back into it. So you want to have long-term relationships that can get you to that place of where you feel comfortable enough to be able to, go into marriage again. Samuel Oduwali says or ask, can you elaborate on the saying that loving is sharing and caring, how true it is? I don't believe in loving is sharing and caring, but if that's what floats your boat, then that's fine. This year means that you can sleep around and the person that you're going out with can sleep around. If you feel that that's a good way to carry yourself as a man or a woman, then good luck to you. Thank you, sis Musu. Sis Musu said, I'm a rising relationship expert. I'm really good. Thank you, sis Musu. I really appreciate it. Coming from you, I know that it means a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot. So thank you. Makosa JN ask, what are ways that women test men to see if the relationship material or not? Great question, Makosa. I will not test a man yet until maybe we have gone on about 5 different dates and we have also gotten some of the intimacy things in place. Sometimes testing people might not be the best way to find out. Sometimes just observing them will give you the answers that you want. Great question, because I got upset with one of my Facebook friends yesterday who had put on her page, if you want to test a woman, take her to McDonald's and blah, blah, blah. Hell no. Ain't nobody taking me to McDonald's to test me, none. You hear me? Eh? If you want to take me out, you take me out to a good place. Let's split if we have to split the bill. But I am not. I'm a fine diner. So you are not, I repeat, taking me to McDonald's. I am not like desperate for a relationship where on date 1, you don't even know me and you want to take me into McDonald's. No, hell to the no. No. It's not happening. So Testing can sometimes be a little, it can be tricky if you test the person and it fails or it backfire. Just observing that person sometimes will give you all the answers that you want. Makusa, Buyu, Smith, you can make up time to talk to the woman, but you have time for sex. Yeah, they don't want to sometimes talk, but they want to come over and have sex and stuff like that. And some women allow these things to happen. Don't allow these things to happen. If the person can make time for you, don't give them your body, because I feel that it's using you. And it's a belittling thing to do, that you can't spend time with me, but you want to come and have sex with me. It's very belittling. So thank you, Boo, for that statement. That's true. Smooth, cooling. What is your definition for relationship? You understand? Well, a relationship is something that goes on between two people, where two people have consented to be together, where they're going to be monogamous with each other, where they're going to be able to grow. When someone says they're in a relationship with you, you also have to be in a relationship with them. It cannot be a one-sided thing where you say that my boyfriend or whatever, but the man not claiming you. That's not a relationship. A relationship is a consenting, nonverbal communication between two people, or verbal communication between two people that states that we are together. You can't go to nobody else. I can't go to nobody else. We are in a relationship together. Now, if cheating comes afterwards, that's cheating. But once you guys agree that you be my boyfriend, I'll be your girlfriend, that is considered a relationship. Smooth cooling. Yes. All right. Isaac Brown says, taking into consideration the saying that vulnerability brings people closer, I would like to know what makes one vulnerable in a relationship. Well, vulnerability has to do with exposing yourself to that other person. So that means telling the person about yourself. When it comes to vulnerability, it has to do with threat. So if that person feels that they can tell you something and don't feel threatened by you, and they are being vulnerable, they can open up to you and don't feel like you're going to hurt them, that is vulnerability. So when it comes to that, you put that meaning that I have given you, and then you say, okay, so I have, like being in a relationship where I was abused. That's not something you can just tell somebody. So if that's not something you can just tell somebody, then you know for a fact that it's something that's going to be, it's something that's going to make you vulnerable. Because if telling this person is going to make you hurt, where the person is going to use it, oh, so you're a punching bag, that means I'm going to punch you, boop, boop, boop. That means that your vulnerability has been manipulated upon, and you don't want to do that. So that's how I see it. Oh my gosh, I focus on where's my person that's back there, Anthony, back office. Can you read the question after Isaac Brown question, because I got out of my Facebook and now it's not giving me any of the questions again. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Yeah, so Isaac Brown asked a question about vulnerability. Can you please give me the next question that's next to it? I kind of like just went off for a moment and it's taking all my comments away.
Oh, sorry, I can't get that. Okay, Francis Bono. How can both partners know that they are the right partner for each other? Is that the one?
Yes, okay, right after Isaac Brown. Okay, so again, knowing that you're the right partner for each other has to do with these 4 pillars that we have discussed. First one is safety and security. Do you feel safe? Do you feel secure with this person? The next one is known and being known. Do you know your partner? Does your partner know you? Affection. Is there any affection and likability going on in your relationship? All those pillars that were discussed constitute to a good relationship. If you are being cheated, if you are being beaten, if you are being emotionally abused in your relationship, if you're being lied to, if you're being betrayed, If you've been hurt in your relationship, all those things does not constitute a good relationship. What's the next question, Anthony?
This one is from this viewer. Can women love? If so, what does a woman's love look like?
Yeah, we're making love. A woman's love is deep. And that's why most of the time I tell my fellow women, please, sometimes you have to know if you're not strong enough for a man to come and just have sex with you and leave, then you have to make sure that you know how you're giving yourself to him. Because we accept a man in, and most of the time after we accept a man in, we tend to love them. And if that man does not love you in return, it's bad. So a woman can love, but you have to know how you're loving and who you're loving. Because if you love the wrong person deeply, you are in for a very hurtful situation. What's the next question?
Let me scroll through. I don't see any other question.
Okay, says Musu asked, or Steve. Steve asked, can women love? Oh yeah, that was Steve.
Yeah, that's the one I just read.
Yes. I didn't even know that was you. Okay, Steve. And says Musu asked, question, is kissing while on a date without having sex a great way to test intimacy? Yes, I would kiss. I do that all the time. I kiss to smell a guy's breath to see if it's good. I kiss to feel if there is anything rising up in me when I kiss you. I kiss to see if you are receiving me and I'm receiving you and all those things. If I kiss to see if you're a good kisser. And if I don't feel those things, I'm gonna take a step back. If you're really cute and I kind of like you, I might give you another chance. But yes, kissing is a really, really good litmus test for a relationship. Great question, Sis Musu. Francis Bona says, how can both partners know that they are the right partner for each other? I think I was able to touch on this question. You know that somebody is right for you when they treat you good and you treat them good. And treating good is a feeling that you're going to, if somebody does something for you or to you, you're going to feel it, you're going to know within your heart that, yeah, this person is good for me. It's the same way. So it's the way you feel. And there are red flags there for us to know, if a person is good or not. But sometimes we see those red flags, and some women, some women would, I say this all the time and I'll continue to say it. The same muff that we use to tell a man or a woman that we love them, that same muff we use to curse. That is not good. We should learn how to communicate better and using our mouth to curse. When you finish using that mouth to curse, then you go put it all the other places in and you go do this, you go do that. No. Find a way to communicate so people know if they are good for each other, when there is respect, when there is understanding, when there is love. When those things are there and they are genuine, then you know that you're with the right person and the right person is with you.
All right, Lady J, I think I got the question you were talking about from Axel Brown, I believe.
Oh, no, I was able to answer. I was like the next
Okay.
question. Yeah,
Okay.
I got that. Thank
All
you.
right.
So Makusa JN asks, does age difference really matter in a relationship? No. But sometimes if the person who is younger is not mature to that level of the person they're dating. So let's say you're 43 and you're going out with a guy that's about 33 or 37. If he is not like up to that maturity level where he feels that he still need to be running all around the place here and stuff like that, then it can host an issue. But if that person is responsible, and they know that, oh, I'm with my girl, and she's this, she's that, she's mature, and I need to exhibit some level of maturity and stuff like that. You can go anywhere. The apple not passing all over the place, and things like that, fine. And I would flip it on the other side. An older man with a younger girl. If that girl actually shows genuine love for that papi, and she's not with him because of money business, and she's eating all her age group in, and she got a papi on the side and stuff like that, that too can be an issue. So there needs to be some sort of genuine, feeling between both parties because of the age difference. There needs to be a level of tolerance as well. There are some things that I would take in my relationship if I was with a younger man. But there are some things that I won't take. If he wants to play video game when I'm there with him, feel free to play a video game, I love. If he wants to do certain things, I will allow him. But when it comes to the disrespectful part, no. So those things you have to look for it. So it will not be an issue if there is genuine understanding, genuine feelings, understanding, and love there. There won't be an issue. Okay, great question here, Makusa. Michael Normie says, is it good to befriend your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife you have a kid by, despite you are in a serious relationship or married? Michael, great question. Old fire trunk not hard to catch. Old fire trunk isn't hard to catch. Old fire is not hard to light. For my non-Liberian listeners, what am I trying to say? Great question here. There needs to be, so when you have kids by a person, or you guys are ex-husband, ex-wife and stuff like that, most of the time these relationship ends up in confusion where both parties don't want to see each other. But in the event that it doesn't end up in confusion, or it does end up in confusion and it's resolved, then and you're in a serious relationship, there needs to be a demarcation between you and the person that is your ex. Because sometimes unknowingly to you or to that person, you guys have unfinished business. So when you have unfinished business, the chemistry is still there. That fire is still burning because you know this person intimately. This person knows you intimately. So anytime that fire can light, that's why they say no, old fire trunk ain't hard to catch. So if you allow yourself to be so familiar with this person who's supposed to be your ex, and you know you're in a serious relationship, unconsciously for you, you guys can just be in a little quiet living room, nobody there, before your lawyer and your lips have joined together, and before you look, you guys have done what you're supposed to do. And then you have cheated on your current partner. So it's not prudent. It's not prudent to do that. You have to draw that demarcation line so that you don't fall into temptation, because exes are the biggest temptation ever. All right, that was a really great question, Michael. Thank you. Question from Kova Kali. It's often said that men want to kill the woman dog that's have sex, and is it the same as women too? Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? We all want to. I mean, sometimes, when you meet a guy and stuff like that, you just want to do what you got to do as a woman. And he might just want to kill dog and stuff like that. But as I said earlier on before, you have to speak on these things and let each other know which way you want to go into your relationship. And then you guys will have a better understanding. Strong Survivor say, why is it difficult for two people to be together? Well, I went over it, and based on this article that I'm going over, they said that sometimes a person just don't care enough, or they're burnt out from other relationships. Another thing that they said was sometimes it has to be with fear. Some people are afraid to go into relationships. And the other reason here was, people are clueless sometimes about what is expected or required of them in a relationship. So that's pretty much all for today. I want to say thank you guys for joining. If you're just joining, this has been Lady J. A quick little breakdown of what we did or what we've been doing the past week, just to give you some information so that you can walk away with. We've been doing the 4 pillars of intimacy. And a summary of those pillows are as follows. 1, safety and security. This here has to do with you feeling safe with the person you're with and having a feeling of security that you can trust this person. Week number 2, we did knowing and being known. That is knowing your partner, getting to know your partner, getting to know the good ways, the bad ways, and letting your partner get to know you. Week 3, we did affection and likability. Has to do with, the multiple ways that we show love to our partner in a non-physical way, that is non-sexual way. And then tonight we went over passion, chemistry, and sex. That's the 4th pillow. We also asked a question in the article, asked a question, why can't we all get along? And I gave you reason 1, 2, and 3, which is fear, cluelessness, and not caring or being burnt out. So this is your girl, Lady J, and Focus on Liberia is going to have this on their page. They're also going to put it on the YouTube page. I have 2, 3, and 4 now to upload on my YouTube page, which is Everything Liberia. And if you go on my Everything Liberia platform, you will also see this as well. I want to take this time to thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for being a part of the show. It's always a pleasure having you here to ask these questions, because I cannot
This is your girl, Lady J.
Focus. Oh, sorry for that. I cannot do this without you. And it's interactive. I enjoy the interactive part of the conversations that we have, because it actually gives me the opportunity to learn as well. When I'm done with the show, I go back and watch the show, because I also want to be able to learn when it comes to certain things. So I really appreciate the questions that you ask and everything like that, because it gives me a better idea of how to go about my own life. We're all learning here. There are no right or wrong answers. We try to make sure that we just give it our all. When you're in a relationship, you want to try to give it your all, but you also want to make sure that you're protecting yourself. And that's why we're having these things. Sometimes sex is not discussed, relationship are not discussed, and we're having the wrong idea about how to go into a relationship and how to go, deal with it when we are there, when to get out and all these things. So having these conversations is paramount to a lot of people, because it helps us grow as a group of people to be able to move to the next level. So thank you so much. I will be here next week. And I'm usually here around 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And it's 8 o'clock my time here in Minnesota. So come, let's talk about another topic. We're still talking about the same topic, but we're going to be asking other questions. So let's see. I'm just trying to type in something here for us to play to end this. Again, thank you, and you have a great night. All right. Where is mine? Thank you. Have a great night.